Hello, welcome back. This is the Issues of Life. My name is Ted, and we're talking about how we need to connect with God in order to, as the source of wisdom and knowledge in order to have success in dealing with our daily issues of life. And we talked about how the disciples asked Jesus to teach them how to communicate, how to connect with God the way that he does. And his response was, when you pray, pray this way: Our Father, who art in heaven, holy is your name, et cetera, et cetera. Most of us have heard that before. Um, and we started talking about what Jesus was saying was much, much more profound than just some words that to repeat. Um, and so in my life, I thought about that, and it didn't make sense to me just repeating some words in order to communicate with God. And so what Jesus was saying, he started out by saying, you pray this way, Our Father who art in heaven. So the the message that Jesus was trying to get to his disciples is the first thing that you need when you communicate with God, when you want to connect with God, is you need to understand that God wants to have a relationship with you as your father, as your daddy. The word that Jesus uses when he says, Our Father, is the word Abba, and that specifically means daddy. So it's not just father, it's it's more personal, more intimate than that. It's daddy. And this was a foreign concept to the disciples. Um, and to many of us, that's a foreign concept. To myself, when I was growing up, I was uh, I didn't grow up in a Christian family, or I didn't grow up going to church or anything like that. I did believe in God, but I thought that God was just this uh, spiritual entity somewhere way up, in a place called heaven, looking down, and and every time I did something wrong, he got mad at me and punished me in some way, and bad things would happen. That was my image of God. That was that was who I thought God. And the concept of having this intimate relationship with Him just wasn't even possible in my mind. In order to even be accepted by God, I thought I had to clean up my act. I thought I had to be this perfect person in order for God to accept me and hopefully maybe make it to heaven someday. That was what I thought. Until I learned, until God revealed to me in an amazing way that the whole reason why Jesus died was to remove all of my imperfections in order that I could have this amazing connection with God. And when I realized that, it just was mind blowing, and so I came to a point in my life where I just surrendered to that. I just said, "Okay, God, here I am. Take me, do it. Here's my life. I've been trying to live it on my own. It hasn't been working out very good. You're God. You know better. Take my life. Do with it what you want." And when I did that, when I surrendered to God's will and to God, through Jesus, recognizing that Jesus Christ paid for all my imperfections and that God wasn't holding anything against me, that's when it happened. That's when God came into my life, came into my heart, and I had this revelation of this of how much God loved me enough and how much He accepted me in order for me to have this intimate relationship with Him. And that's why we were reading the last time in John 1, where it's talking, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through Him. And it's talking about Jesus. And in verse 10, it says, He was in the world, and the world was made through Him, and the world did not know Him. When He came to His own did not receive Him. But verse 12 says this, But as many as received Him, as many as received Jesus, to them He gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in His name. And so we all, through Jesus Christ, He made a way that we can connect with God as His children, as His sons, as His daughters, and call Him Daddy and come to Him and start this incredible relationship, intimate relationship with Him as our Daddy. And that's what Jesus is saying. That's where it starts. That's where your communication needs to start. If you don't understand that, from the beginning, you are not going to have a good communication with God. You're going to just come to Him, and you're going to think, if I don't do everything right, if I don't say all the right words, if I don't do everything correctly, He's going to get mad at me. He's going to punish me. And that's not why Jesus came. He said He came to show us the Father. He came to make a way to the Father as a way to connect with and communicate with God in an intimate way as our Father, as our Daddy. And He says that's where it starts. That's where you need to start. So in that, we need to know, and I'm going to get into, in the following sessions, I'll get into how do we do that? How do we take all of that? How do we take what Jesus did and apply it to our life in a way that we can connect with God as our Daddy and really know Him as our Daddy? So we'll dig into that even deeper in our next sessions in Issues of Life.